Hey rat bags, here's the shorter version for just the Pond Laboratories if you want to go and get the two chips that are available. One's for story, one's for more upgrades for your tools, but they're both pretty vital in my opinion as 1.0 for grounded approaches or is now alive. You are going to need the breathing tube, the first diving piece of gear that you can craft once you've gathered some of the resources like eelgrass, made yourself a pebble dagger and maybe some wax and stuff, and it's also a good idea to get the fin flops and make sure you've got plenty of liquid gills. In preference or order, the Pond should be the second laboratory that you go for after the hedge, as by this stage, after 9 or 8 days, the unlocks scanning stuff pretty much unlocks all the diving gear stuff. This is how you also get the pollen turret as well as curved bases, buoyant foundations and more importantly all muscles to help make even better smoothies. Check out all my other guides and let's go with the Pond Laboratory. Just between all the lily pads and the pagoda, if you swim all the way down, you want to be following any of the oxygen bubbles. You will run into some of these spiders and like I said, 3 or 4 swipes of your pebblet dagger should be enough to take them out, or you could use a spear, but they are more susceptible to slash damage. These guys can sense you from quite far away, so it can be useful to use either the bait to throw it off the way. But to be honest, you're pretty much okay to swim past them, especially if you have got the flippers on you as well. And like I said, don't forget they do give you oxygen replen when you've killed one. So you want to be heading for this cable and the bubbles coming up. And you should be able to get plenty of oxygen as you're going down before finally getting and exploring the T-Rex. The T-Rex has got the stinger spear in his mouth, so we'll get that in a second. But what we're really looking for is bone pieces. Although you will find enough bone pieces to help upgrade our pebblet dagger to the bone dagger as we explore more, it's still worth gathering some of these stuff right now. Obviously the koi fish scales are here as well, and this is the only place that you'll find both of these. You won't find it in the larger areas of the pond, just in the deepest trenches. So this way your slime lantern will come in handy, or your 20 slime stalk torches that you might have made. It takes 2 swipes to dig up 1 koi fish, 1 swipe to dig up 1 bone. There should be 100 raw science just underneath the sunken T-Rex, and here is the stinger spear. Pretty much the equivalent to an upgraded level 5 normal spear, so it's definitely worth using for now. So once you've gathered some of them resources and you're ready to go, you can then go ahead and go deeper into the cavern. You should be looking for the jets of water that will push you forward. They will do the work for you and you're pretty much at the underwater laboratory. Now you need to swim directly towards this entrance that I'm going. Even with the diving tube, it's still a bit of a challenge getting here without your breath running out. It can also be hard actually telling if you're swimming fast or not, so pay attention to the bar and make sure that you are clicking it to go quicker. Head to the right inside this broken part of the laboratory and it will eventually go into a resource room much like the hedge, filled with goodies that we'll be able to use to make some stuff to help us. There is a biometric scanner here, so make sure you tab this, and don't worry, you're about to breathe fresh air as soon as you open it and go through the door. There will also be a sleep point here, so make sure you use it, and this helps make this dungeon actually pretty easy to do even if you die. So first you need to reset the breaker, then we need to go and turn on all 3 of the switches to give power back to the laboratory. Once you've done that, then we need to go through the next door and we're going to be taking on a Arc-R. These guys do significant electrical damage if they do their kind of power attack, but otherwise it's just like the rest of the robots, keep them at bay. With usually smashing damage is better, but whatever you've got to hand really. In my instance this was my upgraded spear. Again, they should take extra damage from behind, but otherwise steer clear of that attack especially. They do fire their static balls, which can be a bit of a problem to dodge, but as long as you're moving in circles around him as best you can, or you block, you should be able to avoid most of them. Just look out that they don't rebound and get you on the way back. These guys also give you 100 raw science when you've killed them. This is the furthest you can go at the moment. It's got a crafting bench, some bandages, and the respawn point. Make sure you use it. So here is, depending on your experience, where things will differ. If you're experienced with grounded, you're going to try it without maybe some of the extras that are going to help, like a bubble helmet, which is the tier 2 diving helmet, or maybe liquid gills, which is a smoothie that's going to give you lots of oxygen. Liquid gills is the easiest to make as you only need pretty much 1 of the water flea meat and 1 tadpole meat as well as some eelgrass. The bubble helmet requires 5 bones as well as some other resources. Like I said, I'm doing this without the bubble helmet, but I just wanted to show you guys there is extra help if you find it a bit difficult or you're not really a fan of being underwater. So anyhow, swim out the corridor and then follow the broken laboratory here directly forward, and you're going to be looking for an entrance that will take you further. Now this corridor is probably the toughest part of the pond, getting this right. There's going to be an air vent that's pushing water out or oxygen out, and it can stop you from getting to the next part. You can do this even without the flippers, but it does rely a really good lot on big timing. And once you made it through, then you need to swim into this area here and then go ahead and turn on the switch. There is a milk motor to get as well as a scab, but we're going to do that a bit later on when we've got more oxygen or we're not having to put the switch on. The air is still pushing, so it should give you a bit of a speed boost out, and then you've got to simply go back to the laboratory entrance that you was just at. It's super tight, as you can see. I just about only made it there. So that's why you either need some liquid gills or go ahead and make sure you've got the tier 2 diving helmet. But if you do die, like I said, you will only respawn here and you've got your equipment back on you, so it'd be nice and easy to go and get your stuff back. So that is switch number 1. Let's turn on the other 2. This time when you come out, actually swim back towards how you got into this cavern where the air was all pushing you, and you should find the other switch pretty much underneath the moon pool that we're going to have to enter once we've turned on all 3 switches and turned the breaker back on. There is a ton of bones as well as some of the koi pieces in the ground below us, but we're going to get them later. Once again, head back over to the laboratory where we've been saving our point from. And then this one is where you might want to use some of the bait, as there is a couple diving bell spiders. Swim directly across towards the other side following the oak branches, and yeah, you might get attacked by them. Otherwise you should just about be able to swim past them. Make sure you've got some sort of healing item on you and go ahead and turn the switch. You can do it pretty quickly and you should be able to swim back no problem. I just about did it and only took a little bit of damage from the diving bell spiders. So head out of the laboratory area again into the opening and then straight into the moon pool, which the doors will now open. In a moment you're going to have to fight a RCAR as well as some more tasties, but for now you should be okay. Head through the open door that's green, 100 raw science, and turn to the left, and we're going to go and pick up a few bits before going through a little small underwater segment. Some backstory, and to the left of this module you'll also find a chest. So now we go further in and there should be a pool of water with a slope. That's where we need to get through. So this is going to be underwater section. There will be a diving bell spider in here, so you may want to make sure you've got your weapon out and obviously some sort of lighting. There's quite a few bits of tough rock just laying on the ground, as well as some chests with it inside as well, so make sure you grab these. And then you're kind of looking better in first person actually for the little entranceway that you can swim up into the next section. Grab the other 2 tough rock nuggets and then go through where it's got the roots. In the clay below this there is a scab. This is why you need to bring a spade, obviously, not just for getting the other resources. And this should be the scab ginger spice. And it's got a nice ginger blue quality to it. Keep swimming through and yeah, you should see the diving bell spider. Now you can pretty much just ignore him, but again he does give you a little bit of vital oxygen. But this is a small section, so you should pretty much be able to go through it without really needing him. Unless you haven't brought enough torches, that's why it's crucial you've got enough light. I would say 2 slime lanterns would be good enough. There is a rotten version which I'm going to show you how to get towards the end, but otherwise yeah, take care of him and keep swimming through the debris. You'll see a path upwards, swim towards this, and we're going to turn on another switch that will access the doorway and it will give us access to the next part of the laboratory. Don't forget also to get some more of the granola bars, and yeah, flip switch and that's it. You can move out of here. You go past some more backstory folder as well as some style nuggets. The doorway should be open now and lead you back to the junction that you was originally in, and you can head back to the main chamber of the laboratory. The water that you saw there going down, that just leads you to the resource room that we was in earlier, the underwater one. So now we've got to take care of these guys, and they can be pretty tough. You want to separate these 2 from the main Arc R1 as best you can. Just keep running around as they are a little bit quicker, so they should follow you a little bit more. So quite a bit of a challenge, but make sure you use the moon pool to circle around and get yourself some distance away from them. And mainly because they're a little bit quicker, I would probably try to take them out first, as you usually encounter them first before taking on the Arc R. We've only got a few more of these to deal with, in fact, in the next part, and we should be safe enough in the underwater laboratories for a while. So one of the doorways will be open now, that's where they came from. It's just an empty room, nothing inside it. And then you want to head for the other door that you haven't explored. There should be some boot prints that will lead the way and follow the path up. There'll be some more bandages on the table, as well as some more granola bars, and we're in the main laboratory point now. We're going to turn on the power. Take care of these two tasties. I generally like to get to the end point with them and then just sling whatever weapon I've got. On one of the walls you should find this shallow scab, which as you would imagine is quite blue and sort of yellow. There should be a research terminal over on this side as well, so you go ahead and scan even more of the new items you might have got, especially from that resource room. And maybe the more exciting stuff is the koi armor. Another tough nugget on this terminal, and there should be a chest with more tough nuggets and style nuggets, plus more backstory. And simply go up the ramp and you should be able to see all of the muscle sprouts. These are going to make your smoothies super duper. They basically give you more healing when you consume them, as well as whatever other bonus you've got. So instead of using just bug goop, you'll use these too. You'll more than likely have too much in your inventory, so you might want to come back here a couple times, and there will be a quick and easy way to get into this laboratory now that we've gone and pressed the button to open the dome doors, as well as got the Pond Burgle super chip. Now this is the main story chip that you need to progress the story, but there is another chip that you might find useful as well, which I'm going to show you guys. But the unlocks you get for this one are the Buoyant Foundation, 2500 raw science, Curved Bases, 2500 raw science, Cookbook for the Pond, which gives you 3 recipes that are all designed to help you in the water, Boatman Fin Soup, Spaghetti Flea and Tadpoloka Pudding, one of the most newest 2 to be added to the game. Also another science set, this time science for 4000 science points, and the Pollen Turret, which also costs 4000 science points. So you can go ahead and leave through this sort of shortcut that takes you up to the upper pond area, or the main pond, and then go dump your resources and then come back the same way. Now that you've opened them from the inside, all of the airlocks that you'll find in the pond will now be opened. Return to the pond via the shortcuts, go through the broken wreckage entranceway, and then actually hang a right over to the light and the air that's coming through. Directly underneath a tiny little entrance is the cave to the pond key, or the mossy key. So I'm going to speed up the footage here just a little bit to help you out, but you can't really lose or go in the wrong way as it's just one long corridor. You'll get to a main chamber that's got some air coming out of the split pipe, and obviously you can still kill the spiders to get some air too. And the key we're looking for, the mossy key, should be pretty much in the coils of the pipe. I would say try and take care of them so they don't disturb you too much, and then go ahead and get the key itself. There's a few pebbles but nothing really else here, just grab the key and then get out. If you're running low on air, you can head to the moon pool door and jump out that way. Once you sort yourself, head back towards the T-Rex through these caverns, making sure to avoid the air that's going to push you, and you're looking for the chest that is below one of the air push vents. A Mega Milk motor and obviously the chip, and we're nearly ready to leave. Of course you can explore the rest of the pond, go and get this Mega Milk that's on the right hand side if you're facing towards the lab again. So you'll pretty much find a diving lantern upgrade for 1500 raw science, fin flops upgrade for 1500, and the splat burst bomb for 2500. These all exponentially increase obviously the use out of them. They give you more faster speed, and your diving lantern will last a lot longer. In times past during early access, I would have said they weren't really worth it as you don't spend that much time in water, but with 1.0 offering new water areas to explore, it's definitely worth getting now. There we go, both of the pond chips. If there's anything wrong in this guide, do let me know, and go and check out the rest of my ultimate guides, my shorter ones as well. If you want to find all the scabs, all the milk molars in the pond, I've got you covered in shorter videos. So until next time, rat bags, I'll see you later.